throughout the sea lions' lives, they continue to learn new behaviors, and Charlie will learn new behaviors both from her keepers and by watching April. So as I said, this is a behavioral enrichment session, and you might wonder what I mean when I say enrichment. If you've ever played fetch with a dog or given a cat a scratching post, that's enrichment. It encourages animals to do behaviors that are good for both their physical and mental well-being. And here at the zoo, enrichment gives the animals something active to do and something intellectual to focus on. So as we go through the session, I'm going to point out some of the behaviors the sea lions are demonstrating. But I want to let you in on a little secret. As the sea lions are their enrichment, the keepers are taking the opportunity to make sure these sea lions are Animals don't like to let anyone know when they're feeling sick, and a sick sea lion could be an attractive target for a predator, but our sea lions have been taught behaviors that help our keepers notice any signs of illness. So we already saw Charlie having drops put in her eyes. Our keepers can do that. We can get a blood sample when we need to, and we can give injections when we need to, and it's because of these close workings that the sea lions and the keepers share. So, demonstrating how strong front flips are. She can propel her whole body out of the water using those front flippers, and sea lions can also support their entire body weight on their flippers on land. And you see when she comes out on land, she can turn her rear flippers underneath her body to help her move around and help her do those spins. The keepers work with the sea lions using what's called positive reinforcement, and that means when a sea lion does the behavior correctly, she gets a fish as a reward. If the sea lion does not do the behavior correctly, nothing happens. The keeper will just move on to the next thing. So positive reinforcement is rewards for doing things right. Like us, sea lions are mammals, and like us, they breathe air, but unlike us, they can open and close their nostrils at will. I think we saw a little bubble blowing demonstration over there from Charlie. California sea lions like these can hold their breath for up to 15 minutes at a time and dive down to depths of up to 700 feet, but most of their dives are shorter and shallower than that. April just showed us something you usually don't see from sea lions in the wild. She held a fish in her mouth and she did not eat it until she was told that it was okay to eat it. And April knows that if she does that correctly, even more fish reward. Sea lions are very animals, and that sound we just heard is called barking. That is one way they communicate with each other. So sea lions will bark at each other sometimes when they're having an argument about something, like the sunniest spot on a rock. So we heard both Charlie and April bark for us. And their barks sounded pretty different, and sea lions pretty distinctive barks, and it said that a mother sea lion can recognize her pup's bark and distinguish it from the other barks of pups in the breeding area. So if you live in New York, you know you're supposed to recycle all your plastic. And Charlie is going to show the way it's done. She's got those bricks of plastic, and she puts that right in the blue bin, just like she's supposed to. Where's the next one? There we go. There's another one. One more, and it's rinsed nicely for her. She doesn't have to make much of an effort for that part. Oh, where is it? There we go. And very nice. You might notice sometimes a closed fist, you touch their snout. That behavior is called targeting, and it's one of the first behaviors we teach the sea lions. Targeting is where you bring the sea lion's attention, so she can then give the visual or verbal cues of behavior she wants to see. And if you pay attention, you'll see that our sea lions know tons of visual and verbal cues.
Good.
Sea lions have large eyes that allow them to see well both in and out of the water. And they also have long whiskers that act as a sensory organ.